Phew, what a scorcher.
It's been almost unbearably hot unless you've been living under a rock, in which case it's probably been even worse. There have been heat wave warnings, wildfires and calls to set maximum temperatures at work. While many have revelled in the hot spell, it's brought discomfort and worse to some. We wondered, do the people who bring us the weather take it home with them too?
Don't blame the weatherman.
I'd like to think people hang off our every word all the time, but clearly there is so much interest at the moment about the heat, but particularly how long will it last? I'm asked that nearly every second of every day. But it's interesting actually, through this process, loads of people wanted it to heat up and saying, well, will we have proper summer? But it's interesting now that there are people saying, oh, I've had enough. It's too hot. I want it to cool down. When will it change?
Cool fashions.
Can men get away with shorts? It's a question of etiquette which starts more rows than the correct way to address a marquis. Newsnight consulted one of the great voices of summer.
I thought this morning when I got up, I looked at my shorts rather longingly, and then I thought, hang on, Blurs, it's Lord's. And so I thought maybe I ought to. The trouble about shorts, which always worries me, it was Nell Cowd, I think, who once said that men's knees all look like underdone rock cakes. So I thought I'd better cover mine up.
I like to keep the decorum going, so here today I am sporting a pair of naval issue shorts, probably from the late 50s, early 60s, a pair of 1940s men's shoes. I think the idea of keeping a bit of decorum going there. Socks. I do not like the idea of wearing shoes without socks because, well, number one, you knacker up the shoes, you know, if you've got any kind of leather shoes on, your feet sweat. And I just think it looks a bit too French.
Of course, you could cast your clothes off altogether. These naturists say they've had an exponential increase in interest from would-be newcomers since the sun came out. The advice from people who supposedly know what they're doing is wear loose-fitting cotton clothing.
Well, we prefer not to wear clothing. It's actually much better because the clothes get sweaty for a start and they're uncomfortable, so our preference as naturists is not to wear anything at all, because this, after all, is, you know, the biggest organ of the body, and for us it's completely natural not to wear anything. This is how we are actually at our greatest in terms of ease.
I don't want to stumble into cliche, God forbid, but it's the barbecue season.
Yes, well, that's right.
That's
Sorry,
tricky.
You did just stumble into cliche.
Well,
there,
no, lots of people are having barbecues.
They are, but it's the same thing. You know, people say to me all the time, Andrew, what do you do? What do you do in Naturism? And I say, we don't do anything that other people don't do elsewhere. And the clothes are exactly the same when it comes to protection. If somebody chose here to go and work on their car, they put their overalls on. If they're going to have a barbecue, they put an apron on.